The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. In the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. The greatest victory is that which requires no battle. Opportunities multiply as they are seized. Ponder and deliberate before you make a move. Appear weak when you are strong, and strong when you are weak. All warfare is based on deception. Strategy without tactics is the slowest route to victory. Tactics without strategy is the nose before defeat. The line between disorder and order lies in logistics. Let your plans be dark and impenetrable as night, and when you move, fall like a thunderbolt. Move swift as the wind and closely formed as the wood. Attack like the fire and be still as the mountain. He will win who knows when to fight and when not to fight. To know your enemy, you must become your enemy. Victorious warriors win first and then go to war, while defeated warriors go to war first and then seek to win. Build your opponent a golden bridge to retreat across. When strong, avoid them. If of high morale, depress them. Seem humble to fill them with conceit. If he sends reinforcements everywhere, he will everywhere be weak. When you surround an army, leave an outlet free. Do not press a desperate foe too hard. He will win who prepared himself, waits to take the enemy unprepared. The skillful leader subdues the enemy's troops without any fighting. He who exercises no forethought, but makes light of his opponents, is sure to be captured by them. Water shapes its course according to the nature of the ground over which it flows. The soldier works out his victory in relation to the foe whom he is facing. In war, the way is to avoid what is strong and to strike at what is weak. He who is prudent and lies in wait for an enemy who is not will be victorious. Rewards for good service should not be deferred a single day. Convince your enemy that he will gain very little by attacking you. This will diminish his enthusiasm. Do not repeat the tactics which have gained you one victory, but let your methods be regulated by the infinite variety of circumstances. There is no instance of a country having benefited from prolonged warfare. One may know how to conquer without being able to do it. If your opponent is of choleric temper, seek to irritate him. Know yourself, and you will win all battles. Plan for what it is difficult while it is easy. Do what is great while it is small. Great results can be achieved with small forces. If quick, I survive. If not quick, I am lost. This is death. Treat your men as you would your own beloved sons, and they will follow you into the deepest valley. The general who advances without coveting fame and retreats without fearing disgrace, whose only thought is to protect his country and do good service for his sovereign, is the jewel of the kingdom. A leader leads by example, not by force. He who knows when he can fight and when he cannot will be victorious. If soldiers are punished before they have grown attached to you, they will not prove submissive. Attack is the secret of defense. Defense is the planning of an attack. The opportunity of defeating the enemy is provided by the enemy himself. The art of war teaches us to rely not on the likelihood of the enemy's not coming, but on our own readiness to receive him. To see victory only when it is within the ken of the common herd is not the acme of excellence. What the ancients called a clever fighter is one who not only wins, but excels in winning with ease. Engage people with what they expect. It is what they are able to discern and confirms their projections. One mark of a great soldier is that he fights on his own terms or fights not at all. When one treats people with benevolence, justice, and righteousness, and reposes confidence in them, the army will be united in mind and all will be happy to serve their leaders. Success in warfare is gained by carefully accommodating ourselves to the enemy's purpose. When the enemy is relaxed, make them toil. When full, starve them. When settled, make them move. If ignorant both of your enemy and yourself, you are certain to be in peril. Begin by seizing something which your opponent holds dear. Then he will be amenable to your will. When your army has crossed the border, you should burn your boats and bridges. To a surrounded enemy, you must leave a way of escape. He who is destined to defeat first fights and afterwards looks for victory. We are not fit to lead an army on the march unless we are familiar with the face of the country, its mountains and forests, its pitfalls and precipices, its marshes and swamps. It is the rule in war, if our forces are 10-2, the enemy's 1, to surround him, if 5-1, to attack him, if twice as numerous, to divide our army into 2. Move not unless you see an advantage. Use not your troops unless there is something to be gained. Fight not unless the position is critical. The general who wins the battle makes many calculations and is tempered before the battle is fought. Do not press a desperate foe too hard. If fighting is sure to result in victory, then you must fight. The victorious strategist only seeks battle after the victory has been won, whereas he who is destined to defeat first fights and afterwards looks for victory. Victory usually goes to the army, who has better trained officers and men. Victory comes from finding opportunities and problems. Thus, what is of supreme importance in war is to attack the enemy's strategy. Supreme excellence consists in breaking the enemy's resistance without fighting. He will win who is military capacity and is not interfered with by the sovereign. Thus, though we have heard of stupid haste in war, cleverness has never been seen associated with long delays. Regard your soldiers as your children, and they will follow you into the deepest valleys. He will win who knows how to handle both superior and inferior forces. It is only the enlightened ruler and the wise general who will use the highest intelligence of the army for